A little hard to read, so I'll kind of just walk you through it. This is a real-life dialogue that happened in the system that happens every single day. We had an agent in one office that says, I have a buyer looking for a house with 2-bed and a guest house near the University of Arizona with their budget. We have an agent from another office chiming in saying, here's a listing. It kind of meets that criteria. She comes back and says, okay, well, we're going to make an appointment for this week. And then another agent pops on and says, I have a listing coming on in a week or two, not in yet, but we can show it now. And from a productivity standpoint, this is one example of how we can actually put people together to do business and share information. And then this also happens with best practices and marketing and technology. We have a forum just on smartphones that people are sharing tips about using iPhones and BlackBerries and Droids and all those kind of things. And it's everybody helping each other. What are the benefits of this system? I think it's huge to increase an agent knowledge base of tapping into, we have 1,500 agents in our system with different levels of expertise and knowledge and everybody being able to tap into each other. I think it's a catalyst for transaction opportunities, just like I showed you how that can happen. I think it's an extension of company and brand cultures. If we didn't have a culture that was collaborative to begin with, if you try to wrap the system over a company that had a culture where we don't talk to each other and we're all doing our own thing, I don't think it would work. I think you have to have a good culture for this, and then it amplifies your good culture. But we can do it both at a company level and down to a branch level, which is kind of neat. I think there was the panel before about the future of brokerage. I view this as part of that, because I think this is beyond the brick and mortar. What are we, what are we, and what's our network, and what's our community, and how do we interact with each other? And we made a strategic decision when we did this that long term we really wanted to try and make it part of our business model as we grow and can continue a very personal touch and interact with our agents and with each other without just through brick and mortar. So we did it for that reason. And frankly, we're really big on a full service experience. So we have our own mortgage, title, and insurance operation. Those people are all part of the system too. So they can share information with the agents in their office, to the loan officers, about what's happening with rates and different programs. And it's all part of the company culture. And all the staff is in the system as well. It's not just agents. So we're all collaborating with each other. And ultimately, the goal is to increase productivity and, from a brokerage standpoint, increase recruiting attention. I have agents come to the company just because of the system. And like I said, we track everything. And I wanted to just share with you some results. We were actually surprised of how well this was used when we rolled it out, because there isn't really a model for this to say, well, so-and-so used it and they did this. It's kind of a new thing. We've had, in the last 3.5, 4 months, over 900 unique users in the system. Represents about 2/3 of our user base. And I can't remember a tool we've rolled out that within the first month or two, we've had 2/3 of our agents going in and using it. Especially something as new a concept as this. We've had almost 8,000 visits to the system, over 70,000 page views. On average, they're coming to the site and looking at 9 pages of content and spending 7 minutes. So not just coming on and jumping off, they're actually engaging in the system. We've had over 1,500 forum posts by agents and over 38,000 views of those forum posts. So the good news for us is there's early engagement in this kind of platform, which is exciting. I think we've had success with this because, especially in the world of social media, they understand what its purpose is. It's to interact with other agents and talk shop and talk business and share ideas with each other and opportunities. And so we've tried to niche out social media a little bit for our company and find a B2B application for it. And I think it's worked pretty good. And there's a lot of unknowns for us. There's a lot of potential with the system we haven't even explored of how we really use it. And we're kind of going through that. But this is some of the stuff where I think we can really, as brokers, take a lead and provide platforms for our agents to actually increase their productivity. So hopefully it's some food for thought. Actually, here's the thing. I didn't even name it. You know who named it? My agents. This is part of the collaboration. We had 50 agents that we betaed this with and brought them in and said, how can we use this? How do we roll this out? What do you think? And they came up with a list of ideas of how we use it. And we asked them what to name it. And they actually came up with the name, which was kind of inside the tool is actually a polling function. So we actually used the polling function to take our test group, and they voted on the system in the system, which was kind of a neat way to get them to use it. It was kind of fun. So, thank you.